Good morning, East Elementary. Good morning, Northwood. Oh, this is going to be an exciting time. Boys and girls, especially our guests, before we have an assembly here at East Elementary, we always have members of our student council who become members of our color guard, bring up our flag. But today, instead of having the student council lead the pledge, I have a special student that is going to lead us. That is Sam Speranza. Sam, can you come up here, please? And I think Mrs. Huber, principal from Northwood, has a special student.
I do, Mrs. Stazak. I brought my special friend, Natalie Halliday, to come and say the pledge this morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
Thank you, Natalie and Sam. Great job. And thank you to our color guard today. Well, here we are, and I have to say, Ms. Huber, I am so very happy that you agreed to join us today for our 100 days, because there's nothing more exciting than filling the auditorium with all of these kindergartners for this very, very special day. Before we begin all the excitement, we're going to get over and beyond the proper stuff first, but really the most important part of this celebration. We didn't just celebrate 100 days of learning this year, but the students worked for some very special causes. And I know East Elementary had their cause that we worked for, and Northwood had theirs. So is it okay if I go first, Mrs. Huber, and then I will turn it over to you? The boys and girls in our 3 kindergarten classes here at East raised a lot of money because they were reading for a reason. And they raised a grand total of not $100, not $300, not even $500, or $600, or $700, or $800, or $900, but they raised $1,000. Isn't that awesome? And they decided that their worthy cause is an organization called Hands On Mississippi, the Katrina Educational Relief Fund. And now I'll turn the mic over to Mrs. Huber with their good news.
Thank you, Mrs. Stazak. I was so thrilled when the kindergartners and their teachers at Northwood decided to not just celebrate their 100 days, but to read for a reason. And I'm also so proud because our 5 kindergartens, through their readathon, raised $1,700 for local charities. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
I'm going to now turn this over to one of our kindergarten teachers, Mrs. Watts.
How many days have we been in school? 100 days, and all of you are 100 days smarter. Clap for yourselves. Who could tell me who the character is in this book? Who could raise their hand and let me know who that little character is? He looks kind of brown. I'm going to go right over here to Northwood for a minute. Tell me. Curious George. Curious George. Oh my goodness. I think they made a movie about him, didn't they?
Yes.
What is your name?
Jevin.
Very great job. I can tell you read one of these books for your readathon. I bet you did. Well, you know, it would really be great if Curious George could join us. And in fact, I think I hear a little African drum music. Do you hear it? Oh, He's on his way. And maybe the man with the yellow hat as well. Let's clap for them. And of course, the man in the yellow hat does have a name to us. That's Mr. Bratz, Superintendent of the West Seneca School District. Please welcome Mr. Bratz. We have one of our wonderful teachers, Mrs. Ayers, and she is right there, and she's going to come right up here because she's going to help us with this poem that we have on the overhead. And Mrs. Ayers, I'm going to let you have the microphone, and I'm going to take care of the overhead for you. We can maybe lower the lights a little bit so we could see our poem, because one of the things that we do in kindergarten is learn how to read.
Day 100's here at last, the day we waited for. We've worked and worked 100 days. We now know so much more. Day 100's here at last, time for us to have some fun. We've learned so much since we began together on day 1.
Okay, we've been practicing this in our classroom and we hope you have been too, so hopefully you can help us sing. We've been working
In our classroom for 100 days. We've been working in our classroom here in your garden. Rise early in the morning. Bring our books and pencils too. Every day we come to our school. We learn something new.
100 days here, come on and give a cheer. 100 days here, hooray, hooray. 100 days here, come on and join the fun. 100 days here, can you all help me say hooray? Great job.
And there's our cake with 100 candles on it. Isn't that sensational, boys and girls? That's what 100 candles looks like. This is absolutely wonderful.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can count by ones. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. We can count by twos. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. We can count by 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. We can count by tens.
Very nice job.
Now is the big moment. We need a kindergartner to be brave, to be curious, somebody who wouldn't mind getting dressed as an astronaut and going up into space. Of course, we're going to bring you back in time. A lot earlier, I came in here and I said there wouldn't be one boy or girl who wouldn't want to do this. So I put a sticker underneath their seat. Who has that sticker under his or her seat? Who is that person? Who is that person? Here he is. Let's find out who this brave and curious guy is. George, you can help him right over here because I'm going to have you hold his hand the whole time. George is going to hold on to you. Oh, there's the sticker. He's proving that he won it. He's got the sticker. Now, sir, will you please tell me your name?
Emmett.
His name is Emmett. Emmett, and you have a last name, Emmett.
Emmett Harper.
Emmett Harper. Let's clap for Emmett Harper.
Ready, everybody? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh no! Goodbye, Emmett. He's floating away. Everybody wave to Emmett. Goodbye, Emmett. Goodbye, Emmett.
You deserve some more fun and games. And off we go to our cafeteria. We're going to be playing some number bingo in there. And then we're all going to have a delicious ice cream sundae.
Hello, I'm John Clark here with Mr. Kensinger at West Middle for the Timeliner Inventions program. Now, how did everything get started?
What we've done is, a couple of years ago, I was shown this particular program, this software program, the Timeliner program. Up to this point, the timelines that were created were done on paper. And okay, but kind of basic. But with this particular program here, it gives the students an opportunity to really take that research and input it into a program that creates a timeline that can be shown as a multimedia presentation. And that's actually what we're doing here. And so we were fortunate enough to have the District Information Technology Department load the programs into the computers here in the library and also into the computer lab. And we've been able to, this is our first time out of the gate with this project, but as you can see, the students are very engaged and the presentations are of very good quality.
All right, now, how long have the students been working on this?
Altogether, I would say it's probably been about a 10 or 11-day project. And in addition to the class time that was given to the students, when we introduced them to the project, they were, it was made known to them and it was expected that they were going to have to do some after-school research on their own and also utilize some of the 9th period activity time to make sure that the timelines were done in time for Inventions Museum Day, which is where we're at right now. The students are now presenting their final product. So it's a great way to reintroduce them to print resources, journals, encyclopedias, trade magazines, things of that nature. The other challenge for them was basically just getting used to the actual software program itself and some of the glitches that were involved. And it was a great problem-solving experience for them because with any software program, you have to work through some troubleshooting. And I think it was a great learning experience for the kids. It was a great way for them to reinforce their ELA skills, English Language Arts skills, and it also forced them to get involved with or engage in some higher level or critical thinking, putting these projects together.
Hello, I'm John Clark here at West Middle with Samantha Jablonski. I'm interviewing her about the Timeliner project. Now, Samantha, what did you work on today?
Today we saw most of the other people's projects and how they put all their information together.
Okay, now, did you work on one yourself, and if you did, what was that?
Yes, I did one myself, and it was the calculator.
What did you learn when you were doing your research?
I learned that the abacus was the first practical calculator by the Indians, and I learned about more about the calculator, how it was all came together.
Okay, and what was your favorite exhibit that you saw today?
Photographic.
And why was that your favorite?
Because it was interesting to see what cameras were the first cameras.
And what did you learn about all the exhibits today?
I learned that there are many different things and how they became before, like how they were before.
Did you have a good time?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hello, I'm John Clark here with Mr. McKnight at West Middle. Now, what is Timeliner?
Timeliner is a software program that's offered as an educational tool today to allow students to use some of the internal library resources in addition to some of the technologies that are offered today, such as the internet. And what it is, it's a tool that is used for the students to actually research a particular project, and that being they create a timeline. Essentially, this is why it's known as the Timeliner program. And what they do is they select an invention of their choice, and they have to find out who invented it, the year it was invented, in addition to looking at certain innovations, improvements to modern day.
Now, how did the Timeliner event get started with the kids?
This was a software program that was offered that has been used in the past, but a great deal of excitement because we wanted to come up with a really interesting way of getting the kids to use some of the media that's offered here at school, in addition to doing some research. And we looked at it very closely, and we thought that it would be an excellent tool to use for educational purposes and having the kids do some research.
Now, what is the students' responsibility as far as getting everything prepared?
Initially, what they're responsible for doing is selecting a particular invention. And what they do is they use the various resources here at school and possibly at home afterwards to research that particular invention. And what they need to do is find out all the particulars on it, that being when it was invented, who invented it, the birth date, and a little bit of the the life story of the inventor, trying to create a little background on it, in addition to coming up with an interesting way of presenting it for people to understand as they're viewing it.
Now, do you think that the students have picked up a lot on this? Do you think that it's been a good learning experience?
Oh, this is absolutely, because what they're able to do is, through the process of understanding when it was invented to the innovations associated with it, what they're truly understanding is how technology affects the innovation itself or the product. Example, the telephone. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone many years ago, and now here we have cellular phones that we're carrying around in our pockets.
No problem. How did you get involved with all the events going on today?
Well, we've done this project for a few years now, but this is the first year we've used this Timeliner software for it. So we've made some significant changes with the technology of it.
Okay, now, what was your role in helping out the students?
Well, I helped them to research their projects, get the information they needed. We also in-service them on the software, and then we helped them putting it all together, finding images, those kinds of things.
Now, was it difficult helping the students come along, or was it pretty self-explanatory?
No, it was just pretty much a regular research project. They really did have to find answers to questions. They had to find events. They had to actually evaluate the events they chose to pick which ones they wanted to include. And then they had to work with the software, which they really enjoyed doing.
Now, do you think the students have come a long way and learned a lot from the project?
Absolutely. I'm seeing them right now looking at other people's projects. They're identifying things like innovations. They're really making connections.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Here with Mrs. Hennessy about the canned food drive. What were your expectations for the canned food drive?
Our expectations were pretty high. In years past, we've done pretty well, so we were expecting our teachers to participate with the competition.
I heard this turned into a teacher versus teacher competition. How did it all go?
It worked out pretty well. We've had some teachers in the past get pretty competitive, and this year they followed through. They did a nice job. We have a pretty nice incentive program for them. Student Council offers a $200 reward for those for the teacher that wins.
And how did you get involved with this?
Student Council takes over the canned food drive every year, so being the Student Council advisor, I headed it up with Kelly Barris.
And how many cans did we actually get this year?
We had close to about 3,500 cans collected.
Oh, that's a lot. And where does it all go?
It goes to the Lions Club, and they disperse it to our local families in need.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
How many cans did you get?
We had just under 1,000, which is a little bit less than last year, but maybe it's a rebuilding year, I guess. But hey, it doesn't matter what teacher it comes in for as long as it comes in.
And what was your favorite part of the canned food drive?
We ate every single can. I'm just kidding. No, actually, to be honest with you, the amount of kids that come in and I remember a couple years ago we had a group of kids that brought in a whole cart full, went to Aldi's and spent about $100, pooled all their money together, brought a whole cart full. It's cool to see that the kids are doing things like that in our society.
Sounds like a nice idea. Thank you.
Yep.
Here with Lauren Picone for the canned food drive. Did you bring any cans in?
Yes, I did.
And which teacher did you give them to?
Mr. Ursing Music.
And who do you think will win the teacher versus teacher competition?
Definitely Mazzaros.
Okay, thank you. I'm Alicia Cosmos here with Mr. Ursing, who's part of the canned food drive. How many cans did you get so far?
Well, we're still tabulating roughly about 200 to 300.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, it's a little bit less than previous years. It's been a rough year for canned food drive this year.
How many more do you expect to get?
I'm hoping, last year I think I had about 2,200 cans. I'm hoping to eclipse that.
Do you think it's a good idea for the canned food drive to be turned into a teacher versus teacher competition?
It's fun if you're friends with certain teachers to go back and forth. Overall, I just think it should be a school drive because the students get really excited about bringing in cans for their community.
What was your favorite part of the canned food drive?
To see the extreme amounts of generosity that my students had. I had kids bringing in hundreds of cans, and just to see them get so excited that they were going to be helping people in their local area.
How many cans did you get?
Well, 2,800 roughly have been turned in, although a few students brought in cans after the fact, so I still have about another 200 to go over, so roughly 3,000.
With all those cans, I heard that you won, and what are you going to do with the money?
My classes have decided to donate the money to Mikey's Way, which is a charity that gives money and buys computer-type games for little kids who are awaiting treatment for cancer and other terminal issues.
Sounds like a good charity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.